Before getting started with cybersecurity tools, let's have a look at why cybersecurity has become so important over the last 2 decades. Robert Morris was one of the earliest hackers to mount a public attack when in 1988 he released the Christmas tree worm onto the internet. Within a day, 2,000 systems were infected, and in total, it caused over 6,000 computers to crash. Morris was charged and fined $10,000, rather a lot in those days. This case was somewhat controversial, as Morris Sr. was a cybersecurity expert from the National Security Agency. The worm infected DEC and Sun systems. It contained what was known as a portable C-grappling hook, which was used to download the main payload and also to move across to other operating systems. This is an approach not uncommon even now. A positive outcome from the incident was that the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency funded the first Computer Emergency Response Team, CERT-CC, at Carnegie Mellon University. The Legion of Doom was a hacker group active in the late 1980s, and it was considered to be the most capable hacking group in the world. It published the Legion of Doom Technical Journal and contributed to the overall pool of hacking knowledge. While it did mount attacks to take over phone and computer systems, it saw itself as inquisitive rather than harmful. A key person in the group was Vince Guillory, known by the name Lex Luthor. Another well-known hacker group sprang up as a result of disagreements within the Legion of Doom. The new group called itself the Masters of Deception. One of the key people in MOD was Marker Bean, who was known in the group as Fiber Optic. Mark had originally joined the Legion of Doom, but was thrown out after arguments with other hackers in the group. In 1990, the Legion of Doom and the Masters of Deception were reported as having declared war on each other and were mounting attacks over the internet on each other's computers. A nationwide investigation by a joint FBI Secret Service task force resulted in 5 of MOD's members being indicted. All 5 pleaded guilty and were sentenced to either probation or prison. Interestingly, in a panel debate of the Next Hope Conference in 2010, Marker Bean stated that the rumored gang war in cyberspace between Laud and Mod never happened, and that it was a complete fabrication by the U.S. Attorney's Office and some sensational media. Nevertheless, the war between Laud and Mod has become one of the great cyber legends. Another high-profile hacker active in the 1990s was Kevin Mitnick, otherwise known as Condor, who used social engineering and dumpster diving techniques to get information that allowed him to hack into systems. Over the years, he was in and out of jail as a result of hacking. In his early years, he broke into DEC's computer network and copied their software, for which he was sentenced to 12 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Near the end of his supervised release, he hacked into Pacific Bell voicemail computers. He was again detected, but this time he took flight, becoming a fugitive. For 2.5 years, his exploits have been documented in a book called Takedown by John Markoff and Tsutomu Shimomura, and by Mitnick himself in his books The Art of Deception and Ghost in the Wires. After his release, he eventually became an author on cybersecurity, acted as a CIA agent in ABC's TV spy thriller Alias, and is now a security consultant. During the 1980s and 90s, hackers were more a novelty than a significant problem. However, by the late 1990s, the number of servers on the internet began to skyrocket as individuals and businesses started to take advantage of the benefits of an online society. As soon as money could be exchanged online and banking systems became internet accessible, organized crime began to take an interest. Over the next decade, online crime became as significant a problem for society and as lucrative an activity for organized crime as illegal drugs. Criminals were not the only group starting to take notice of an increased online society. So did nation-state agencies, with an interest both in monitoring their young people and espionage against foreign targets.